Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I'm Karen, and today, well, if you are not a makeup palette lover, eyeshadow palette lover, or you're living on another planet, then maybe it makes sense, but otherwise I can't believe you didn't hear about the new KALEIDOS eyeshadow palette called the Nebula, the Club Nebula palette, which looks like this. I'll insert a picture here and the swatches, and of course I will insert a picture of the swatches as well. So unless you've been living on another planet and you're not connected to the hype online, then you don't know this palette, but if you are, then definitely you heard about this palette. Now I heard too, and of course it was out of stock, I think in 1 second, and it's going to restock. And it's a really beautiful shaded palette. I really love the colors. It looks amazing, but I don't really want to wait. I don't want to wait at all. I want to use it. So, and it costs $45, which is a bit pricey for my taste. I usually don't buy eyeshadow palettes that are that pricey. Usually I do have Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I have a few palettes that are relatively not affordable, but I usually tend to choose affordable eyeshadow palettes, and spending $45 on an eyeshadow palette for me is too much. So I thought, let's try and dupe from all of my ColourPop collection and try and look for palettes that look similar. Here I'll show you all of the ColourPop palettes that I have. I spread them on my bed and I just looked at the swatches of the KALEIDOS Nebula palette, Club Nebula palette, and I looked at all of the collections, all the ColourPop palettes that I have, and I tried and duping these shades. Now it's not 100% dupe, because first of all I'm looking at dupes from a website. I don't have the palette on hand, so it's not 100% dupe, and there are shades that I found something similar in my ColourPop collection, and I didn't find something that is spot on, but the shades are very similar. And I thought to myself, if I have these shades in my collection already, maybe not in one palette, but in a few, lots of palettes. I'll just show you in how many palettes. All of these. Just a second. Look how many palettes of ColourPop. But if you take all of these palettes, you have the Club Nebula. Okay, let's see how many palettes there are. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 12 ColourPop eyeshadow palettes versus 1 by KALEIDOS, the Club Nebula. Okay, now it only can work if you already have these palettes at home like I do, and I find that I just saved myself $45. I don't know how much is shipping. I assume shipping will be around another $15 for shipping, so I saved a lot of money. So let's create swatches of the KALEIDOS versus ColourPop, and I will show you which one are the most similar in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to start like they started, from the burgundy side on the left side of my arm, so we can compare. I'm going to insert the swatches here. I'm going to start with the deepest shade. Well, you can see it here on the screen. I will have to look on my screen here, and this is the burgundy shade. And the best shade that I found in my collection for this one, the best dupe, is from this ColourPop palette, Ménage et Moi, and the shade is this shade here. I don't know if you can see that very well because of the lighting and the reflectness of the surface here. Oh yeah, now you can see it. This shade here, which is called No Drama. I'm just taking my finger to No Drama and let's swatch it here. Okay, very similar shades. So this is one of the similar shades that I found in the ColourPop collection, my collection. Of course, I don't have all the palettes. Maybe they are better dupes in other palettes of ColourPop, but I went with the ones that I already have. So this is the first shade, and well, you will see it here, the original one on the screen here, and I will show you my dupes here. Okay, the second one is this color here from Garden Variety. This is Garden Variety, and this is the palette, and my dupe is this shade here, which is called Don't Leave. Okay, so I clean my finger between, okay, I have to clean it better. I clean my finger between each time that I'm going to swatch. So, or maybe I'll take a cleaner finger because this is a light shade. And let's take Don't Leave and apply it close to the burgundy shade. And this is a beautiful, beautiful match. Very light, peachy tone. I don't know how well can you see it on camera, but in my opinion, this is a good dupe. Like that. Can you see that? Yep, it's a peachy color. Very, very pretty, and in my opinion it's a really good dupe for the Kaleidos one. Okay, next up is another palette, which is Sweet Talk. This is Sweet Talk, and this is how Sweet Talk looks like. And I'm taking this color here, which is called Work It. This shade here, Work It. Okay, let's take Work It on my finger and apply it next to this shade from Garden Variety. So now I'm taking Sweet Talk, and well, there are, I think, just two palettes that I found, two colors that are duped. So this is the only problem, that you have to go to so many palettes to find the color scheme. But you know, to save $45, I think it's worth it. So that was Sweet Talk. Next up I have this one. This is In a Trance, and the shade is this one. It's called Clarity. Okay, so this is In a Trance and the shade is Clarity. This one here, and I'll take a freshly clean finger. This is very, very creamy. It's so buttery. Okay, let's add it here. Very, very light color. This is not 100% dupe in my opinion, but this is the similar one that I had in my collection. Okay, what did I do now? Okay, took too much. And this is it. Look at the shine of this one. This one, it looks relatively close, but not 100% to the Kaleidos. Okay, what do you think so far? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, let's take the next one. The next one is Boudoir Noir, and this is how it looks like. And the shade is this one. It's called Good Night. This shade here. And let's take Good Night on my clean finger and add it to my hand like that. This is a close one as well. It's not a dupe, but it's a close one, and I think it's close enough, in my opinion, of course. Yep, look how pretty it is. Beautiful shade from Boudoir Noir. Okay, next one is the palette Making Mauve. Just a second, I'm cleaning my fingers. And this is Making Mauve, and I'm going to show you the palette. This is it. And the shade is this one here. Let's see the name of the shade, which is Murky. What a strange name. So let's take Murky from Making Mauve, and let's see how it looks like. So I'm just swatching it with a clean finger. And I think this one is a very, very close match. Now, if you have other palettes of ColourPop that I'm not showing here, which are better, that you think that are better suited and are better dupes to the Kaleidos, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will check them out. I think buying another 9-pan palette from ColourPop is more affordable. Okay, next up is from Stone Cold Fox. This is a big palette, and the one I'm talking about is this one, Rumor Mill. This shade here is the shade I'm talking about, and I'm swatching it. And let's add it to the collection. Okay. I think this one is almost an identical dupe to the Kaleidos one. Now don't get me wrong, I think Kaleidos has a beautiful palette and a beautiful palette scheme, but why does it have to be so expensive and so limited edition? And what if I won't get it on the 17th of February? I will be very, very disappointed. So let's save all the disappointment and just find something in my collection, and I'll save money and I can buy 4 eyeshadow palettes from ColourPop. Okay, next up is from Fade Into You. Now this is not a dupe at all, but this is the closest one I have. This is called Kaleidoscope. Funny, right? Kaleidoscope. Okay, so Kaleidoscope from this palette. This is definitely not a dupe. It's really just similar. This is the similar one I have in my collection, in ColourPop collection, and it's not the same at all because it's supposed to be more shimmery, and this one is more glittery with lots of glitter. So it's just similar. I don't have anything that looks like the one in the Kaleidos one, which is similar to the Kaleidos. So this one is the one that is definitely, it's not a dupe at all. I just added it so, you know, we can have consistency in the shades and have everything a line to this one here. I hope I'm not hiding it with my hair when I'm moving. So, okay, I will see that only in editing. Okay, so this is it. Next up, I'm going back to Stone Cold Fox. And I'm going to the shade You Rock, not Rock. You Rock. This one here. You Rock. Okay, so let's rock. Okay, so I'm just adding it to my finger. And this one is a very light gray, very similar to the one in the Kaleidos palette. So it got such a big hype, this palette, online. Wait just a second, I'm going to drop everything if I'm not careful. Already done this before. I mean, drop everything. It's not fun at all. So as I said, Kaleidos got lots of hype and you can see it everywhere, and lots of YouTubers okay, too many glitters from the previous palette got stuck on this one. So I saw so many YouTubers review this palette and I really wanted it so much, but waiting, it's not for me, and paying so much is not for me either. So okay, from the same palette we take Magnetic Moon, which is this shade here, which is a really close dupe. And as I said before, I don't have the palette, so I'm looking at a picture from the Kaleidos website, so I hope that I'm nailing it. It's very hard to look at a picture of swatches, but look at that, this is so beautiful. I love this shade so much. What a beautiful shade. I have no luck with this palette. I hate this palette. This is the Blue Moon palette. I don't know. It's so fragile. Look what happened. Yep, and everything here is blue. Oh, what a bummer. Okay. I try to put them back in their place, just so at least I can swatch. I won't be able to show you the color. Oh my god. Wait a second, I'll just clean here. Well, I tried my best, and the best shade I can't show you because it will be okay, as you can see. So this is the shade here. It's called Clued In. So I'll just try my best to show you. Wow, this is horrible. I didn't have a chance to enjoy this palette as much as I wanted. It's falling apart. Okay, bummer. Okay, but look at that, this is so similar in shade. Like that, look at that, this is so beautiful. And this one is so similar to the Kaleidos one. Yep, but what? The swatch looks so awful. Just because I'm so scared to touch the palette. Okay, so this is it from Blue Moon, and I'll put it aside so it won't make a big mess more than it already did. Okay, let's continue. I have 3 more palettes. Okay, next one is at Forest Sight. This is the palette, a new palette for me, and I'm taking the color FNW. This is the palette and this is the shade. This is a close dupe, it's not a similar one, it's just close. So let's take a clean finger and add it next to the blue. Okay, look at that. This is so similar. This is beautiful and very close to the Kaleidos one. Next up is Aura and Out, and I have two shades from this palette. First one is this color here, which is called Healing Heart. So Healing Heart is the next one. I'm going to swatch. And I'm running out of place on my hand. Look at that shade. This is so beautiful. Of course it's prettier in person than on camera, but look at that. I'm trying close. Zoom you in closer and you can see how beautiful it is, and it's so similar. Okay, next up is a palette called Mint to Be, and the shade is this shade here. It's called Ice Cold. So this is Mint to Be and the shade is Ice Cold here. Let's take it. Now this is not a close dupe at all. It's the closest one I could find, but this is not turquoisey enough. So this one is not a close dupe like all the others. It's similar, but I've seen better. I have better. This one is not a really good dupe. And I'm going back to Aura and Out and to the shade called Soul Sister, which is this shade here, and just take it on my finger and let's add it here. Okay, let's add some more, and I think this one is a really close dupe to the Kaleidos one. This is it. We've finished all of the shades. So let's see. This one, let's go back a bit so you can see all the shades. And versus the Kaleidos one, maybe I'll edit here. Half of my face is Kaleidos, half of my face is ColourPop. Like that maybe. Yep. And you can see the differences. It's not 100% dupe, but it is close enough in my opinion. What do you think? How close is it? Well, I think this is pretty close. Okay, so if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.